The country is mourning death of Dr. Manmohan Singh, the former Prime Minister of India, and everybody has a story to share. But one of the rare stories of his tenure was also, success stories was also about creation of the WCD ministry as an independent ministry. And I'm being joined by Renuka Chowdhury, who had become the first minister to take charge of the WCD ministry. Ma'am, I want to travel you back to that time. What did it feel like, that ministry being created in the UPA-1, and why the need was felt, and how did Dr. Manmohan Singh ensure that the ministry is formed and it remains strong, robust?
I think being the father of girls and a man who said that don't kill the girl who gives birth to kings. And he educated his own daughters, and he knew what a woman goes through in society. So I think, he used to watch, and he's seen the strength also of Mrs. Gandhi. And he's seen Indira Gandhi, he's seen Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, and he saw what these ladies also went through. It doesn't matter which position you occupy. At the end of the day, we all pay the price. And so, and the fact that he took that decision to make it, it was earlier under the HR. So we didn't get the kind of necessary importance or focus that was required to deal with women's issues. And the fact that it was carved and made an independent ministry, I think, huge milestones for women and women-related issues which could be addressed in a speedier manner, and the seriousness of what it required, the importance of it, was given when we made it an independent ministry. And I'm deeply privileged that I was the first minister for that ministry. Yes, we did bring about what is considered controversial, but which was the need of the hour, was the domestic violence bill. And there were a lot of people hopping about in anger and frustration, and some genuine, it's their experience, but mostly it was unheard of. And I didn't imagine our level of that kind of thinking, the gender-specific thinking, till I took the law and went to the villages. And I would tell the men that you're all my brothers. Now if you raise your hand on your wife, there'll be hatkadis on your hand. And they all laughed. I thought it's such a good joke, till they realized it's serious. It has gone a long way. Yes, there have been some misuses. Every law has been misused. It depends on the consumer. We make laws to help set direction. Once I was so frustrated that I went to him and I said, sir, this is really not right, and this can be done, that can be done. And he just calmly listened, and he said, but it depends on how you use the law. And it's your responsibility as a citizen that you use it. We make the laws to help set direction. We say this is the correct way to go.
So he shielded you from the pressure that was there against the DV.
He gave me the courage to say, go ahead and do it. ठीक है, जाओ आगे बढ़ो. He said, you believe it's right? I said, yes. A lot like my dad, my father was like that. And he said, okay, if you think that is necessary, then do it. So you do it, you pay the price, but you do it. And if you believe in it and it's your conviction, do it. And I think that's a tremendous thing, to give me that kind of freedom in the ministry and to let me do what I thought was right. And, there were a lot of things which I didn't understand, which I would ask. And he would very calmly put a perspective on it. And you suddenly realize how easy it is to actually see it in its correct perspective. I think the Manmohan Singh ji's greatest asset, his greatest strength, which is a role model for all the youngsters even today, is his ability to be so grounded and humble. And it's not an act. It's not something he puts on for the cameras. It's what I've seen in the privacy of his home, in my one-to-one encounters with him and his family, Mrs. Manmohan Singh, his daughters, so unassuming and so simple, and yet what a grand man. He wore his simplicity as a cloak, which I think is the most valuable thing. There's nothing in the world that can buy a human being that kind of, recognition.
And when you speak about the Domestic Violence Act, it also reminds us how he managed to get the civil nuclear deal through, despite facing so much of political opposition and risking his chair as well.
But that was him. It's like what he told me, if you believe in your conviction and you think you're correct, then do it. He lived the example. He lived the way he said, and he stood by it. He was convinced it was the right thing, and it turned out to be the right thing. And a man of great knowledge and intelligence, a man of great learning and great humility. He did it. And there were he showed what it means, silent strength. He showed that.
This might sound like a very personal question that I'm asking you. People do talk about certain gifts that they hand over to individuals of this stature, and more than that, a token of gratitude, a token of love that they might have got from a leader of such stature. Do you have any such memory that you would want to share with us? A gift that you got from Dr. Manmohan Singh that you believe is the most precious one that you have with you?
I think the most precious gift that Manmohan Singh ji gave me was access to him and his family, and that I could go home at any point and I would be given that love and affection. I don't think there's anything more valuable or more precious than that. That Mrs. Manmohan Singh ji would also ring up and inquire when my husband was unwell. I had a long battle where he was unwell, and I was so shocked that they came to know about it, and because I hadn't told them, and that they cared enough. Who was I? I was just a political worker as far as they are concerned. And yes, I was his cabinet colleague, but it's okay. I wasn't in power when this happened. But they called not once, repeatedly, to ask, how are you? How are you coping? How is he? And I don't think there's anything more valuable than that. That a person till the last. I am so grateful. I am so indebted because it taught me lessons that sometimes I'm impatient and my personality and nature is such. It taught me that if people who reach such heights can reach down to hold my hand, then it is necessary that I learn to do that for others. I think that's the most valuable thing that they've given me. They were never materialistic. Kai baar it was a problem, his birthday or, you go to visit them. You want to give something because your heart is full. You don't know what to give a man who has no material needs. No designer clothes, no designer watch, no designer car, nothing. And it was just his humility and his hospitality. So it used to be quite a challenge to wonder what to take for them, which is books, flowers. That was it.
I can see those tears in your eyes, and we could understand that that's the state of thousands and thousands of people across the country right now, those who have worked with Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Even the skies are weeping today. And even the skies have opened and cried, I think, that India has lost a son like this.
And, Renuka Chowdhury remembering as to how the WCD ministry was formed as an independent ministry under Dr. Manmohan Singh's government in the first tenure, and the challenges that the ministry faced, how he became a protector of the ministry as well, especially in context of the Domestic Violence Act. With video journalist Prem Mishra, this is Amit Bhardwaj reporting for India Today from Delhi.